Okay, so welcome back. So welcome to my class. So we were talking about is the qualitative measures of the RBI. So as we had already finished fixing margin requirements, we were in the next topic, that was the second point, that was consumer credit regulation. And I said that in this method it is it is a consumer credit supply is regulated through a higher purchase and installment sale of consumer goods, and under this payment the down payment installment amount is always fixed. So this is the best part, because of this what happens is there is a control of inflation in the country, because the down payment or the installment payment is fixed, so there cannot be any manipulation. So that is very very important. Okay, now I will just erase this. So we will go to the third point. Let me just erase this. Okay. Okay, so now we will talk about is publicity. Okay, so we will just write, I'll just write it down here. Publicity. Okay, so publicity is something that this is yet another method of selective credit control. Okay, and what RBI does, it publishes reports. Okay, so this is another method of selective credit control. Okay, and the central bank, that is RBI, it publishes various reports stating what is good and what is bad. Okay, so this is an information in the system, so it keeps on giving a time, as I told you, like how it is a publication. So some same way RBI keeps on publishing the various reports which are stating that what is good and what is bad in the system. Okay, now this, what is this helpfulness, like why is this helpful? So this actually, this published information will help the commercial banks. So let me write down here, this published information can help commercial banks, okay, to direct credit supply, okay, in whatever supply, this published information can help the commercial banks to directly credit how much ever money they want to supply in various directions, they can do it. So in the desired sectors. So now when the RBI publishes that this department it is problematic, and in another department it is problematic, so because of this information it is helpful for the commercial banks to know that okay, where the exact amount of money is required in which sector, and in which sector the required amount is not of supply of money is not required. Okay, so that is the thing. Now let me continue writing this point. Now through its weekly, so this is a weekly and monthly, so both is there, and monthly bulletins, the information is made public, and the banks can use it for attaining goals of monetary policy. Okay, so this is the way the publicity is done. Now let's go to the next point. Okay, so this is the next one is credit rationing. So what is credit rationing? It means that, where the money is equalized or it is equally distributed. Okay, so how they do it? See, central bank fixes credit amount to be granted. So it is a fixed amount and they fix it that how much the money is to be granted. Okay, so there's a limit. So what is the meaning of credit rationing? It means a limit. So credit rationing by limiting the amount available by each commercial bank. Now I'll give you examples. Say for example, right now I'll talk about Bangalore. Say that there's a very busy place called as Shivaji Nagar. Okay, so there the credit is like, it's a big bank, so the customers are more, so the credit limit for that month for that bank is, say for example, 1 crore. Okay, the same area, say for example, if you talk about a small area of near the village, near the suburbs of Bangalore, so that is a small branch, so there the customers are not much, the demand is not much, so there their credit limit is something like 5 lakhs. Okay, so now you can understand, so that is available for each commercial bank. You can see the circular which will be given that, the central bank will say, okay, for this branch this much of amount is available, for the other branch this much of amount is available. Okay, now this method controls even, this is very important, bill discounting. So if you want to pay the bills, the bank will pay the bills on your behalf, so that is also done. So how much the banks can pay the bills on your behalf, that also the RBI decides. Okay, so for certain purpose, let me write down here, for certain purposes, what is the upper limit? So the upper limit of credit can be fixed. Okay, so now what happens, so the banks will hold to that limit, they cannot go above this. So this can help in lowering the banks the credit exposure to unwanted sectors. So the banks know that how much they can give credit, so unnecessarily they'll not be able to give more loans to different other sectors, okay, or unwanted sectors, because there's a limit, they cannot go above that. Okay, now coming to the next point, let me just delete this. Okay, okay, so we'll come to the next one, that is moral suasion. Okay, so I said something which is ethic and which is non-ethic, which is good and which is bad, so that is called as moral suasion. Now, okay, now this is a pressure given by RBI on the Indian banking system without any strict action for compliance. So they have to follow the rules. If they go against the rules, the banks will sue, the RBI will definitely punish them. Okay, for compliance with the rules, so they have to go with the rules which the RBI has given to the banks. Okay, now this, what is the benefit here? Let me write. It helps in stopping or avoiding credit. So no banks can give money at the time of inflation, credit during inflationary periods. Okay, so commercial banks are informed, about the expectations of this, so all there's an weekly circular or monthly circular. So the commercial banks are informed about all this, policies, or what are they supposed to expect, from RBI, and it is written down and it's called as model suasions. Okay, so now the central banks, let me write down here, the central banks can issue, so it is called as directive. What is directive? It is an action. So it can issue directives. It's also called as guidelines. Okay, and also suggestions. Okay, suggestions for commercial banks. Okay, so it can give the suggestions for commercial banks, regarding, what is it regarding? So regarding how much to reduce credit supply. So regarding reducing credit supply. Okay, so basically, why you have to reduce the credit supply, so that they can't, nobody cannot do any speculation. They cannot, because whenever you have excess money, you try to invest somewhere here and there. So then again, you are not following the rules and regulations. So to avoid that, time and time they give you guidelines, or they give you directions or suggestions to the commercial banks. And who gives this suggestion? You have to follow according to the rules, that is the RBI. Okay, now coming to the next point. So as I said, they give you direct guidelines and instructions. So that is why there is a direct control, of RBI within the commercial banks. Okay, so the next point is control through directives. Okay, so now let me write down this. Under this method, the central bank issues frequent directives to commercial banks. Now these directives, they guide the commercial banks. So they guide the commercial banks in framing their lending policy. Okay, so they know. Now through a directive, the central bank can influence credit structures, the supply of credit, how much the limit should be done. Each bank should be, the RBI gives instruction that this much of loan you can give, this much is the credit, that is your upper limit, and this is your lower limit. So the RBI issues directives to commercial banks for not lending loans to the speculative sector. So where you can do something with your money, you can do some, because what is speculation? When you have a lot of money and you want to explore new things, and you want to, so that is something like which is very, very risky. So speculative sector, such as, what kind of speculative sectors where the banks are not supposed to give loans? That is securities, such as securities, etc. Only beyond a certain limit. So you can give credit to the securities beyond a certain limit only, not the complete. Okay, so to up to a certain limit only you can give it to the security sectors. Okay, beyond a certain limit. Okay, now coming to the last point of the monetary policy, that is the qualitative. So just let me rub this. Let me clear this. Okay. So the next point and the last point is direct action. Okay. So this is the last point of monetary policy under the qualitative measures. Okay, so now what the RBI does, the RBI imposes. Okay, so the RBI can impose, or what is the meaning of impose? Putting some. Okay, it is having the full right to put any action or any legal action towards any commercial bank. So can impose an action against a bank. Now if certain banks do not follow RBI's directives, okay, the RBI may refuse. So this is a very important point, remember this, rediscount their bills, okay, and security. So this is the way the RBI can stop, okay, securities. What is the secondly? The RBI can also refuse, okay, credit supply. So the RBI can also stop giving money to the banks, credit supply to those banks whose borrowings are in excess to their capital. Okay, so the central bank can penalize a bank by changing the rates of interest or anything like that. At last, even it can even put a bank on a particular bank if it does not follow its directives and work against the objectives of the monetary policy. So it can stop the functioning of the bank completely. Okay, so these were the measures of monetary policies which are applied by RBI. Now we will talk about money supply of India. Okay, so let me just rub this. Okay, so we will talk about is money supply in India. Okay, so the first one, there are three ways the money supply is done. It is called as M1, M2, M3, M4. Okay, so we will see one by one.